Alright, good evening everybody. I hope you guys are all enjoying the marathon thus far. I am TEEX88, and tonight I'll be showcasing a run of Super Mario Bros. 3 Mix, a ROM hack of SMB3 that was created by Captain Southbird and was released in 2014. It lends itself to some custom world maps, levels, enemies, bosses, power-ups, and even some general quality of life changes to the mechanics, which I'll further explain as the run progresses. So all in all, it pays homage to many of the classic Mario titles, including the NES trilogy for Super Mario Land 2, Mario Sunshine, Galaxy, and even the new SMB for the Wii. Oddly enough, the only classic that was left off that list is SM64. So without any further ado, I say we get started. So let's go in 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh, wait, sorry, I didn't realize I had another save data on there. Let me just get rid of that. Okay, this time for real. 3, 2, 1, and go. So you have 3 possible characters that you can choose from: Mario, Luigi, and Toad. So I'm gonna go with Toad, just because we believe in Toad's supremacy. And when you pick him on the character select screen, he actually leaves the screen about half a second faster than the other two. I was trying to go for a clip there, so that way you'd be able to clip through the pipe and then pretty much skip this underground section. So yeah, if this isn't familiar to you, this is 1-1 and 1-2 from SMB1. Yeah, ordinarily this would be a pretty laggy section because of all the animated blocks that make up the ceiling and the walls. But with a little bit of damage boosting, we got through there no problem. Alright, so with 1-2, we're going to see some more SMB1 levels. This will be 2-1 and 2-3. Oh, lost a little bit of P-speed there, that's okay. And yeah, as you can see, instead of the trampoline that would be at the end of the level, we have the note blocks. So those little golden mushrooms that you see there, not only do they power you up, but they also serve as checkpoints, considering that pretty much all the levels in this hack are going to be much longer than their original SMB3 counterpart. So definitely be prepared to see more of that. Alright, so we're going to be coming up on our first fort. We're not going to be grabbing any more power-ups from here on out, because we're going to be skipping that cheap that's coming up on the overworld map, and I'll explain why in a moment. See, obviously we're not really going to be seeing any fire bars, so a lot of those might be replaced with rotodiscs here and there. So you can tell from those platforms this is pretty much a resemblance of 2-4. And instead of axes, we're just going to use a P-switch to break these bridges. And they're all going to be accompanied with a little cutscene. So, hope you enjoy. And yeah, as you've probably saw with 1-2, there's going to be a lot of levels where there's going to be an expansive level design, and there's going to be a vertical scrolling camera that follows Mario or whoever with whatever it is you do. So there's going to be a lot of blind jumps that you have to make, so there's going to be a lot of memorization involved in this speedrun. Okay, so we have a nice rendition of the Ghost House from SMW. And we're able to clip the stairs just like in the original game as well. So we were able to get both stair skips, so that saves us a good chunk of time. And basically the stair clips work by just garnering enough P-speed and then just doing a small enough jump. Be a really nice port of the background. So yeah, that cheap sheet that we skipped contains a fire flower. It's not really necessary for this run. So yeah, we just save a little bit more time just by skipping over it while we're already small. It's nice to have as a backup, but we're just going to YOLO it anyway. And similar to the 4-4 in SMB1, you have a setup for a clip there. So this is the part where we actually get our Fire Flower, and then we'll carry it for the rest of World 1. So we have another P-switch axe thing. And surprise, surprise, our princess is in another castle. So we're going to be coming up on 1-7 next, and this one is going to be another level that has a lot of memorization involved on where to make your jumps and how hard to make your A presses. So it's going to be a lot of tight platforming involved. And we get through there, no problem. Butter smooth. See, it is. Just like with regular SMB3, there's going to be a lot of RNG with the kind of quote-unquote bro fights you encounter. So, yeah, this Cheap Sheep, you have the potential to skip him, depending on whether he goes up or across 1-7 after you beat the fort. It contains a star. It's nice to have in the midpoint of the game, but not absolutely necessary, so... yeah, I wouldn't really go crazy, like, resetting over encountering that Cheap Sheep fight unless it's, like, world record attempts or something. So we're gonna attempt one clip, and if we don't get it, we're just going to bail on it. This is what Gadian calls fishing clips. Maybe one more attempt. Oh, second try, let's go. So for anyone who's played 8-4 in SMB1, we pretty much just skipped the entire swimming section, so that saves us about 10 seconds. And this Bowser fight activates much closer when you approach him, so the strategy here is just to bonk his head in order to get to that axe. And surprise, surprise, we finally have our princess. And GG, game's over. No, just kidding. Alright, so we saw a lot of SMB1 references, so now we're going to be moving on to, surprise, surprise, SMB2. So you're going to be seeing a lot more familiar level layouts and enemies, including these Shy Guys. And you know, one of the nice quality of life changes that were made in this hack is that you could just keep mashing the jump button in order to climb up the vines faster. You don't have to hold up anymore. And if you hold diagonal right as you're making your way to the next screen transition, you'll get a nice little burst of speed as you come out the other end. So now we're going to be coming up on quote-unquote 4-2. So instead of ice physics, we're just going to be using as the conveyor belts as a substitute. See, getting through that conveyor belt section is really important because the Patui cycles, the way they shoot their spike balls, is on a global timer. So if you're not fast enough, they can easily snipe you in midair. But because we were fast enough, we've got a pretty safe pattern. So yeah, you can see the latter half of that level was 5-2. Yeah, this Shy Guy is another one that would be a potential skip, but he went right instead of up, so we have to fight him after this. So yeah, as you can see, this is the bottom section of the 1-3 castle. This is where you would normally climb in order to get to the Phanto key. But will we actually see some Phantos there? No, this is actually the part 2 after you unlock the door. But will we see Mouser? Or will we see another familiar character? No, in fact, we're gonna see Birdo. So yeah, the conventions of frame rules and egg cycles don't really apply in 3-mix the way it would in 2U. There's a lot more complicated RNG involved with whether he shoots a fireball or just delays for several seconds. So yeah, we're trying to do a clip here. Not having much luck with these soft pixels today. I think I had a little too much luck with that first castle. But yeah, ultimately this is worth going for because we pretty much skip what would be the equivalent of 5-3, and we all know how annoying that level is in the source game. Yeah, it usually takes about 8 tries before you break even with playing the level normally. So we're gonna get a Fire Flower from this Shy Guy, which would be good to have as a backup in case we have damage in a later part of the game. So here we have 2-5, which is effectively 7-1. Pretty decent climb, not perfect though. So because of the way the map layout works, and the way that second Shy Guy's movement pattern goes, if you end up fighting the first Shy Guy, you're gonna end up having to fight the second one as well. That's just how it goes. Alright, so we're going to encounter another Phanto room, but instead of actually grabbing a key, there's a P-switch at the top which will basically activate a pipe that you can access once we get back to the lobby. We'll just snipe out this ninja. Get a little bit of lag, and we're out of here. So here comes, and yet another thing I forgot to mention is this game has a lot of vertical scrollers, so it's going to be a lot of fun climbing sections. And yeah, another thing to mention about these bosses is that a lot of them have weaknesses that can be exploited. So in this case, we're going to take some intentional damage on this bomb explosion, and that resets the iframes back to 0, so instead of taking damage from one explosion, he takes damage twice. So you only have to deal with 2 bomb cycles altogether. So it saves a couple of seconds. But it's okay because we're going to grab another Fire Flower here. Which we're subsequently going to lose because of another damage boost for speed. Alright, so now we have Warp. As you can see, his hitbox is not vulnerable to any of the fireballs. So we pretty much have to fight him this way. He's just going to drop some Shy Guys on us after every bubble cycle. So 3 hits and he'll be down. Sometimes when the Shy Guys spawn, they'll either go to the left or the right, so hopefully we don't have to chase down any of them and risk damage. So we did have to chase him, but we got out of there pretty cleanly. Alright, so that's World 2. Alright, so now we're going to be going on to World 3, so this is going to be where we're going to see a lot of either Luigi's Mansion references or Mario Land as well. Ooh, we got the clip. So that pretty much saves us 2 pipe transitions and a surface that you have to run on the top. So that saves about 6 seconds altogether. Very nice. So yeah, this next level coming up is going to be pretty laggy, especially with the boo ring that's going to be right in the beginning. So we're going to do a small delay so that we're on a nice part of the cycle and we can get early P speed. Very clean. So now we're going to see one of the new custom power-ups, and that's going to be the bunny ears from Mario Land. And they pretty much have the same effect. It's effectively a nerfed down raccoon tail. And we're pretty much going to glide that to get to the end. And that pretty much saves us a pipe entry that would take us to an auto-scroller. So it's definitely a necessary one to get. And we're going to see another custom power-up coming up right here, which is going to be the penguin suit. So basically it adopts the same swimming mechanics as the frog suit. In addition, you get to freeze enemies and then kick them as if they were shells. Alright, so this is probably the easiest quote-unquote bro fight in the game. Nice, so we got the first try clip. I don't know if anyone caught, but after I did that bro fight as I was grabbing the item, I moved 1 pixel to the right, so that pretty much manipulated my sub-pixel so that I would be set up for the clip. And then we do a second clip using that coin bridge, and that takes us to the end of the level, so we skip an entire swimming section that way. Alright, we're going to be doing a little bit of RNG manipulation on this boss coming up. So we're going to go through most of the level optimally, and then we're just going to delay our door entry just ever slightly. So we want a mid 488. And we got it. Very nice. Got the fast triple cycle. So that that pause was part of the manipulation as well as the intentional damage I took on that little boo. So basically the idea was to stall frames so that the dry bone spawns right away, so that the big boo's movement lines up exactly with where I want to kick the dry bones towards him. Oh yeah, sorry about the alerts. I turned off desktop audio, but they're still coming in through my speakers, so sorry if the mic picked up on them. And as I was mentioning about how a lot of the bosses and enemies in this game have weaknesses that can be exploited, we're going to do a quick kill on this Bowser Jr. coming up. So basically, spoiler alert, he's going to be piloting a Big Boo, And basically the idea, or at least the developer's intention, was that you would stomp him 3 times. But we're going to take advantage of the Penguin Suit's freezing abilities and just kick one of the bullet bills back at him so that we could just pretty much one-shot him. So yeah, if this looks familiar, this should be the sunken ship from SMW right before you encounter Valley of Bowser. And we got him. Easy game. Alright, so now as we enter World 4, we're going to see some Super Mario World references, including some Yoshi strats, starting with the first level, which will of course be short and sweet. And similar as you would do for Mario World, we're going to be jumping off of them every now and then so that we can get a little extra boost towards the exit. And now we're going to see a nice fun little mechanic with Yoshi in this next level. Yeah, if you mash B twice really quick, yeah, you can pop off of that shell that you would just spit out. Forgetting my visual cues, sorry. Alright, not too bad. Did a little improvising there. And as we continue, we're going to be coming up on Forest of Illusion 2. So, gonna have some more crummy swimming to deal with along with these urchins. So it's gonna be really important to hold on to this penguin suit in order to go through it optimally. So we're gonna be freezing a couple of these guys as we go along. And it's also one of the most punishing if you take damage too, just because regular swimming is so much slower. Now, I forgot whose castle this belongs to in this next fort, but I'm pretty sure it's a reference to the one that you encounter right before the forest. I think that's the one right after Butter Bridge and Cheese Bridge. I want to say it's Ludwig's, but I could be wrong. Alright, so we're going to take some intentional damage boost here so that we can skip some of these spike cycles. Small here as well. And then we'll outrun them as they come down on us. So there's going to be a pipe that'll take us to the next screen as it scrolls up, and a checkpoint. So we're going to take the checkpoint just as for marathon safety. Because I have done a practice run in which I missed one of my diagonal inputs and died on one of these spikes. Of course it doesn't happen now. And yeah, that damage boost was intentional because you want to be small for the next level coming up. So if you like the mechanic where Yoshi does the boost off of that shell he spits out, we're going to see that a couple more times. And yeah, because you generate enough speed when you're popping off of Yoshi, you can get enough pixels into the pipe so you can just clip across it. So you save yourself 2 pipe transitions, and you don't have to wrap around to dodge a bunch of bullet bills to get to the exit. Another interesting thing to note about that level is that those bullet bills are RNG as well, so It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes you can get a bad seed in which you end up getting sniped right in the midair as you're getting close to the end of the level. Had it happen in my runs, and it's happened in Jabum's as well, who's in chat. So, say hello to Reznor, and bye Reznor. One of the laggiest boss fights in the game as well. Alright, so basically the idea here is that you have to take out all of the Rexes that are in that Rex counter on top. But you can make it go by faster by glitching out these guys with your tongue. And then it'll count each one as a death. Alright, so we're going to be doing a little bit of swimming. So thankfully there's going to be a penguin suit waiting for us. So yeah, if you couldn't tell already, the penguin suit is going to be our best friend for most of the run. At least up until we get to World 7. So we're going to get a star right here. And that's going to help us navigate through a lot of these dry bones fishes. Get some P-speed. And we'll have one more Reznor fight before we close things out. Of course, that fireball has to be in such an inconvenient spot. Alright, so we're going to be coming up on what would be the normal SMP3 World 4 airship. It's had a couple modifications to it. It's not completely identical. So we have another quick kill that's coming up on Bowser Jr. And we got it. So basically the intention was to have Bowser Jr. drop 3 shells down on you as he's throwing fire at the same time. And that's basically the idea, is how you kill him, but if you approach it aggressively enough, you can knock him out with the same shell and just get a single cycle. Alright, so we're gonna come to Desert Land now. So there's going to be a couple of SMB2U levels, but it's going to be mostly Mario Land. You can see our first introduction to the Sphinx. Alright, so because we picked up those extra stars from the Cheep Cheep and Shy Guy fight, we're pretty much perfectly equipped to fight these Sphinx guys. You don't necessarily need a star to do it optimally, but it certainly helps. Because if you stomp him on the same frame he shoots his fireballs at you, you have another incident with the iframes resetting on you, so a single fireball can just do triple damage. We're going to do a little bit of digging. Alright, so there's 2 fun little things that we can go for in this pyramid. First one is going to be this clip. Didn't quite get it. But we'll see if we can go for the Yump instead. And we got it. Or as Jabum would call it, the non-trivial P-switch jump. Alright, so our first boss is going to be Big Sphinx. And he does have the same quaking mechanic as some of the Koopaling fights. So 3 stomps and he's out. He's not vulnerable to any of the fireballs or ice balls. So this is going to be one of the sweatier ghost houses in the game. Gotta love those off-screen door entries. And perfect. Very clean. And fortunately we're able to skip this, that second Sphinx fight. He doesn't really have any worthwhile items. Unfortunately, in my world record, I had no choice but to fight him. So that cost me about 10 seconds in this world. But he doesn't really carry anything important, it's just another carrot that gives you the bunny ears. But 3-2 is the only level where you really need it in order to really save any time with it, so... In any other circumstance, we would just use it as a backup to damage boost in case it needs to be Big Mario. So yes, of course, the Angry Sun returns, and another interesting thing to note about the Angry Sun is that his hitbox is on the upper left corner of his sprite. And when he's in that circular movement phase, the hitbox is actually outside of his sprite. So it makes aiming with those frozen bullet bills a little tricky. So yeah, we always take the bottom route because it's, even though the auto-scroller is kind of a pain to deal with, it's much faster than taking those 2 extra levels up top. And we're able to keep P-Speed over here, not the easiest thing to do. Very clean pyramid number 2. And just like that, we're almost done with World 5. So we're going to see 2 airships in one. On the first screen, we're going to see the vanilla World 5 airship without the auto-scrolling. And nice thing about those platforms is it lends itself to some nice early P-Speed. And then once you go inside, it should look like the World 1 airship. And of course we have the snake from SMB2U World 6. And 3 stomps and he's out. It is actually possible to kill him with the fireballs, but it takes like 40 hits in order to take him out, so it's not really going to save any time unless you're playing like a TAS. So, as we enter World 6, we're going to be seeing a lot of Mario Sunshine references. So we're going to see a lot of beaches, we're going to see a lot of sludge waterfalls, and we're going to use the penguin suit right away to navigate it through as fast as we could. Yeah, keeping Penguin Suit is really important in World 6, because if you get sucked into any of those, any of the sludge or the oil or whatever, it's a real pain to get out of, and it loses a lot of time. It's actually rougher than dealing with quicksand. So next we're going to be coming up on another custom character, the Piantas from Sunshine. So basically these guys are going to be our friend and chuck us over to some harder to reach areas like here. So yeah, very short and sweet level, if you know how to navigate it. So now we're coming up on one of my favorite levels to do execution-wise. This is also called Legoland. Yeah, a little bit laggy at parts because of how many enemies are on screen. Kind of a very clean level overall. One of the most satisfying for me to pull off in a run. We're going to do a little damage boost here so we don't have to mess around with any vines. We're going to be coming up on our first boss right now. Everybody say hello to Petey Piranha. Alright, so we're going to get one more penguin suit that we got from the crab fight just now. And we're going to use that for P-Speed as well. It's a little slow going into the water there, so I had to wrap around the cheap sheet. Alright, we got one more crab fight to do. So basically it's going to be the same deal. Just freeze them, just break them. Be as aggressive as you want. Yeah, it saves a lot of time over just killing them the normal way, which would just be bunking them on the question blocks twice. And when you hit them the second time, they get really fast and aggressive. So you definitely want the penguin suit for an optimal play as well. So as we enter 6-6, we're going to be saying hello again to 7-4 from the original SMB3. But instead of a bunch of the lotus plants and those black chiefs, we get a bunch of crabs. So because it's a much cleaner level overall, we shouldn't really be dealing with as much lag as you would ordinarily expect. And I feel like this would be probably a good time just to talk about what's going to be coming up for the end of World 6. We're going to be coming up against a ghost house in about another minute or two. And it's going to come with the potential for a frame-perfect jump right at the beginning of the level. So basically you want to press A as soon as Mario loads into the level. And if you nail it, then you can pretty much skip over the entire level. Because the game originally intends for you to play the level, or at least the first half of it, upside down. And then have you go through a pipe entry in order to go right side up again. Yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention. We're going to be seeing a lot of reverse gravity mechanics. So yeah, if we get the frame-perfect jump, that's going to save us 10 seconds over the course of the route. Yeah, and if you're able to get the ghost skip, we won't be grabbing a leaf. So we'll have to grab some additional power-ups later on in World 7. So we'll see if we can get the ghost skip. I was practicing it right before doing this marathon run, so I was pretty consistent at it. So we'll see. Didn't get it. So yeah, this is what I meant about the reverse gravity. But that's okay, because this route is going to lend itself to another swag strat that we're going to see in World 7 later. And it's all going to be thanks to the fact that we're going to grab this leaf right here for the end of the World 6. So this next castle coming up is ordinarily really long because it requires you to just spend 2 minutes on a raft just dodging a bunch of stuff that falls down on you as you cross the lava. So we're going to try to skip all that with the tail. And we got it. So I'm going to skip over all the sludge areas and got sticky held on the way up, but that's okay. I'm going to grab a fire flower here because that's going to help us in the airship coming up. Jump over these nippers. And we'll say hello to Petey Piranha one more time before we peace out of here. Gonna bait him to the center of the screen so his jump cycles are set up so that we can just stomp him. Alright, so we're gonna do a little bit more vertical climbing. And on the way up, as you would imagine, we're going to be seeing Bowser Jr. one more time. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, thankfully this level's pretty generous with power-ups, so we'll get another fire flower. Alright, so we'll get our fire flower right here. Don't really need it for this fight, but it'll be helpful for the beginning of World 7. See, I'm going out of my way to hit Bowser Jr. on the far left side of the screen, because it's going to trigger a glitch as we're going to see in the next moment. So yeah, when you do that, he hits himself for the remaining 2 hits. Stop hitting yourself. Also, yeah, sorry about the TMNT2 notification again. I just shut off my speaker, so we shouldn't have to deal with that anymore. Unless, of course, you want, in which case, just let me know. Yeah, now that we're going to be entering Mario Galaxy World, so expect to see a lot of upside-down physics. So yeah, you're not in any control over when the reverse gravity activates. It's just automatic depending on where you are in the level. You know, all of the upside-down mechanics and all those switches are pre-programmed. Alright, so we're going to be coming up on 7-2 next. And I know it's going to be kind of hard to make out what level it is, but it's actually going to be 1-1 from SMB 2J, The Lost Levels. Alright, now we're going to be entering 1-2 in 2J, also big-sized. Snipe out these 2 guys on the bottom, clear a path for us. And we'll just be a little careful here, just snipe out these plants. And very clean overall. Yeah, 7-3 is going to be a really technical one depending on like when you build up P-speed and just how careful you have to be with your jump, so I'm going to need to focus a little bit for this. Intentional damage boost. And we're good. Alright, as we enter 7-4, another familiar level. Vanilla SMB3's 1-5, but upside down. And yeah, as you can see, these ceilings were just put in there, so it can make these physics possible to get through. For the longest time, I can never make out what these little enemies are supposed to be. But after doing a little research, because, you know, I haven't really played Galaxy, I think those are supposed to be the little top men. So, but we in the 3-mix community, we just call them Roombas, because they just kind of resemble those devices. So ordinarily, this would be a 3-stomp kill. But we're going to be getting one more custom power-up in World 7, so that's going to help us get the quick kills later on. Granted, we could hold on to it. 7-5 is another favorite level of mine, just because of how swaggy a lot of the execution is, including that corner grab. We're going to have a lot of fun with the reverse gravity P-speed in this one, especially in the latter half. Also, yeah, this is Valley of Bowser 1. Yeah, basically the idea was that you're supposed to get to the bottom section of that, and then activate a vine to climb up. But by doing the gravity skip, you save about 7 seconds. So, I know that we talked about a divergence in routing for World 7, and this is pretty much going to be it. So because we have that leaf that we grabbed from the Rex fighter, we picked up another leaf from the Ghost House. We're going to do a fly strat in order to get through this level a little bit faster. So we're going to do this fly strat, do the upside down, and just skip over one of the pipe transitions it would otherwise make you go through. Alright, so we're going to be coming up on 7F2, the last of our custom power-ups in this game. And instead of the hammer suit, which is the same cosmetically, we have the boomerang suit. And I'll just lose it right away. Actually, I think I can grab another one. Okay, we're good. But yeah, we want to get that boomerang suit. It's really important because we'll get a quick kill on this Roomba boss. And the reason it lends itself to these quick kills is because it's able to do damage on every frame that the boomerang is in contact with the sprite. Yeah, this is another one of the scarier levels in the game. And and specifically because of the way it makes you grab the flagpole optimally. So we'll see if we can get through these waterfalls. And we're out of here. Alright, we're going to be seeing a couple more familiar levels, but upside down. Starting with vanilla SMB3's 7.6, or at least the inside of it. Not something you see too often in a normal speedrun, considering we either fly over it or clip through it. And now we have 7.1, pretty much the same deal. We'll just wrap around so we can skip that pipe transition. And last but not least, 5-2. So now we have one more boss fight ahead of us. Alright, got a quick kill on that Roomba. And just like that, World 7 is pretty much over. With the exception, of course, of this auto-scroller. So basically the concept behind this is that this is supposed to be the World 7 airship, but from the bottom. Yeah, it's not structurally fully identical, but yeah, it still gets the same basic idea across. This is probably going to be my least favorite Bowser Jr. fight, just because it's RNG when he decides to shoot his fireballs, so... Somehow, whenever I'm on world record pace, he always knows exactly when I'm about to jump to stomp on him. I try to wait, I try to be patient, I try to wait him and let him shoot first, and he always knows, he's sentient. So we'll see if we can have a little bit more luck this time. And if not, it's okay, because we still have plenty of fire flowers in our inventory to finish off World 8. Plenty of backup power-ups that we got from those extra bro fights. So yeah, this auto-scroller is about, I want to say about 2 minutes and 16 seconds. And then we have the boss fight. So of course we get the classic Rocky wrenches. Only thing that's really changed is the coins and the Koopas. Yeah, in case anyone's wondering about those star medallions that you see up top, those are actually intended for to be collected in 100%. If you collect all 300 that are in the game, it unlocks the secret World 0. And beating World 0 is what lends itself to getting the alternate ending. And just like that, he knew when I was gonna jump. So, no boomerang suit to start off, but that's okay. And as we say goodbye to Bowser Jr. for the last time, say hello to Rosalina. Yeah, we just call them Rockies for short, but they're actually called Rocky Wrenches. Alright, so we're going to be seeing 8-1 from SMB1. Oops. Well, I guess we're doing this small now. Good thing I was forced to play 8-1 small, because you're forced to revisit it with no power-ups in the 100% route. So, thankfully I know how to handle this. see, 8-3. Okay, so we're going to keep the power-up that we have, and then we're going to grab a star right at the beginning of 7-2. I mean, 8-2, which is effectively 7-2 in SMB 2 USA. And originally the developer intends for you to play the level normally and then just climb your way to the top to get to the flagpole. But we're going to clip that, we're going to skip all that, and just refight Mauser in this glitched out room. So once again, we're taking intentional damage so that we can get a second shot on him with a single bomb cycle. And yeah, that's the jank I was referring to. So if this auto-scroller looks familiar, this is Vanilla SMB3's 6-2, but at night. But even once we get to the end, it's not exactly the end. We still have one more screen to get through. So yeah, 8-3 is going to be our one cool-off section in World 8, because everything else afterward is going to have some really interesting speed strats coming up. Alright, 8-4 is definitely one of the scarier levels in World 8. Because there's a lot that can go wrong with these Yoshi strats. And I blame it all entirely on these cheeps. Luckily we had a good cycle, so no damage, no losing Yoshi. And we're out of here. And yes, Lolo Guru, I can confirm that this is indeed the best SMB3 hack out there, in my opinion. Didn't quite get the fast tunnel, but that's okay. Yeah, I had to do a little duck jump towards the end because there's a Kaizo block waiting for you. I've been having no luck with these, with that clip lately. If you're able to pull it off, it saves about 5 seconds. But unfortunately, we gotta let the Piantas get our way to the other side. So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep my jumping to a minimum, just because I want you guys to enjoy the best track in the music soundtrack. I do believe that this theme is from Mario Land 2, Legend of the Gold Coins. I gotta say I like this rendition a lot more than the source material. Wow, great move. I don't know how I walked into that Paragoomba just now. It's okay because we don't really need the boomerang suit coming up, and we'll just grab another one in Bowser's Castle. Alright, so we're just gonna grab this fire flower just for backup. So this is gonna be the last reverse gravity level. As you can see, short and sweet. Alright, so now we're coming up on the end, and we just have Bowser's Castle. And as I mentioned, we're going to get one more boomerang suit. Not that it's really going to help us that much in the end, because Bowser's hitbox isn't really vulnerable to any of these power-ups, like the penguin suit, fireballs, boomerangs, etc. It's going to be the same tradition that you would expect in the normal SMB3, where he just kind of breaks the floor beneath him. So we're just going to chill and just clear out a bunch of enemies so that we can reduce lag. So normally the strategy for the super tank in regular SMB3 would just be to hold right and just stay in the front row so that you can just bypass all of the cannons and the bombs that come your way. But it's actually more beneficial to stay in the back, and you'll be seeing that why in just a moment. And if you really wanted to, you don't even have to interact with these sphinxes at all, because when they shoot the fireball, your helmet just basically allows you invincibility to fire. So you can just kind of sit back and chill and just knock out Spinies as they come. So we have about a minute and a half left before we actually enter Bowser's Castle. And I hope that everybody's enjoyed the hack thus far. We'll just knock out a couple of those Spinies, and Lakitu will just peace out. So we just got one Chungus bro to deal with, and we'll be inside in no time. Alright, so we'll start running towards the door as soon as it hits 3:56 on the in-game timer. So that should set us up for the door entry with P-Speed. I'm going to try to go for one stair clip right here. Not quite. I did actually get it in a marathon yesterday, but basically it allows you to bypass 2 entire rooms. It's saving about 21 seconds overall. But it is sub-pixel dependent. It is very precise where you jump from. Gotta really be focused for this one now. Ah, messed up. Alright, everybody, say hello to Bowser. So we just have to burn him in the lava about 3 times, and then it'll be GG. Oh, we were so far to the right that he actually screen wrapped to the left. Also, nice lag. Alright, and that's pretty much it for the any % run. So time is going to end as soon as the screen fades completely to black. And there you have it. It's going to be a 103.30 on my end. I want to say thank you again to Junkyard Dave for allowing me to be a part of this this awesome event. Big thank you to everybody for watching. Shoutouts to Dave and Kat again for having me. And hope everybody enjoys the rest of the marathon. I also want to give a big thanks to Javum. He's been a big mentor for me as far as just learning the route and a lot of the speed strategies go. And I want to big thanks to him and to folks like Gideon and Araban, because watching their PB videos has given me a lot of ideas on what I can apply to my runs as well. So it's been about a 5-month journey since I came back to this after 4 years, and really glad to have pushed it as far as I did. And I hope you guys had fun as well. Thanks so much for the GGs, everybody. So I'm going to kick things back to Dave, and yeah, best of luck to everybody who still has runs in the marathon, and GGs to everybody who has participated thus far. So I do believe we have Overly Critical Gamers coming up with Double Dragon 2 PAL version. And yeah, I leave things with you. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks again.